Hey, what's up? I'm gonna try to make this real quick. Kind of dealing with really bad allergies right now, so hopefully I'm clear. But just want to hit it real quick. So first off, I come to the realization that I really need to take everything I get information-wise with a grain of salt, because when I heard that some testing was done where the PS5 came in 3 degrees hotter than the Xbox Series X, take it with a grain of salt, because let's think about it. There was testing done back before the red ring of death, and they didn't find that. So we probably should just wait until we get these consoles in hand and they get into real world situations under real gaming time and see what the results are. So, um, so that being said, not that it was that big of a deal, but just something to think about as far as this information keeps coming out. For example, how they quickly tried to debunk based on numbers that the Xbox Series S is not going to hold back the Xbox Series X, when logically it just makes sense that it would, but they try to say no, based on these numbers it won't. Well, Devil May Cry and oh, what's that PUG gamer? I keep I don't know these games because I don't play them. Let me see. Uh, let's see. What is that called? PUBG, is it? Yeah, Players Unknown Battlegrounds. Gosh, I was trying to figure that out for the longest. Player Unknown Battleground. I never played the game, but anyway, that game and Devil May Cry 5. They're saying that the Xbox Series S will only play their games like in Players Unknown Battleground, whatever. That one's only going to do 30 frames per second at like 1080p or something like that. And then Devil May Cry 5 is going to do like 900p at 60 frames per second or something like that. The Xbox One X can do better than that on both of those games. But hey, like I said, we're going to take it with a grain of salt and see what comes out in the end. But I find it interesting that in the same day I'm hearing about that, I'm also hearing about Phil Spencer, this guy, is also already talking about the new iterations of the Xbox mid-season upgrade or downgrade, depending on how they want to do it. You know, how you have the slim or whatever, cheaper type of thing. So they might make a middle tier between the X and the S. So that's a possibility out there. The fact that he's just throwing it out there, in so many words, I just can't with the fact that consumers, let's just call it what it is. The majority of people on this planet are not, if we're talking about majority, because there's a lot of people on this planet, the majority of people don't have the greatest understanding, education levels, intelligence levels. Those are just the numbers. It is what it is. So expecting consumers to be smart enough to make really wise choice decision wise, or even just consumer behavior wise. For example, the fanboyism is bad for the consumer as a whole ultimately, but is good for the company, because with fanboyisms, no matter what, they're going to buy into every marketing campaign from their specific preference of gaming console, and any negative that comes out, they're going to, you know, ride it till the wheels fall off, stay with that company, be loyal and everything, until it becomes too unbearable. And in most cases, companies, especially big companies like Microsoft, will be able to save themselves. But if you watch any of those videos that I've mentioned in regard to the history of Microsoft, there are literally two videos that you can get, one 20-minute, one 30-minute, maybe one an hour, that you can watch and find out enough about Microsoft to let you know that no matter what little pro-consumer things they do, ultimately it's not about you. It's about the stockholders. It's about the dividends. It's about, expanding in a way different than the mindset of just a gamer. Same thing, same thing for Sony, and same thing for Sony in a little bit, meaning Sony is definitely about their stockholders and definitely about making money as a company and screwing the customer over, sure. But because they're using the traditional path, there's only so far they can go with how they screw a customer over before they end up feeling it and having to make adjustments. And the trade-off with Sony for the last 20 years has been a better gaming experience with better games. So Microsoft has given people a better gaming experience when it comes to the multiplayer, and for some, when it comes to the first-person shooter, maybe even the sports for some people, just with the control alone, maybe. But definitely the online experience for a lot of people has been better with Microsoft. So it's not like they have done nothing well, and it's not like them being in the gaming competition hasn't made things better. Competition always is better. That's why Madden and EA shouldn't be the only game company making football games. It sucks that 2K's not doing that, and maybe vice versa. Maybe EA should make NBA Live. I don't know. I guess that's debatable. And I say that just because when somebody consistently shows that they do a bad job, then maybe you shouldn't. Case in point, honestly, that's one of the reasons why they probably shouldn't do the football game, because they've done consistently a bad job. I think the last time 2K had a football game, that was better than Madden's competition. And that game sold for only $25 because they knew it was their last game they'd be able to make for football games. And it was a much better game than the Madden game of that year. So in the case of Microsoft and the fact that they have definitely failed at games coming out of their own studio and doing well, just doesn't bode well for them to purchase Bethesda, with Bethesda already having existing issues and thinking that money is going to solve it. Yeah, they have enough money to throw at the company so that they can have the time they need to produce what they need to produce, but ultimately it is about the finished product and not about the fact that you got money. Because if money was the reason why they were going to be successful, then they would have beat Sony by now and Nintendo by now, but it's not about the money. Just like it's not about having a more powerful console. The Xbox One X was supposedly more powerful than the PS4 Pro, and PS4 compared to Xbox One, 2-to-1 difference. Why was that? Could it be the games? And again, it's not like, people like, because people always do the exaggeration, and I hate when people try to do straw man arguments or make arguments without a response. That's why it sucks to have these one-way dialogues. I'd rather be able to, you say something, I'm gonna make a video and respond to it. So it's not all one way, one-sided, because a lot of people, as I've seen recently, people will just take somebody else's video and try to rip it apart at line by line by line, but you never hear the rebuttal. And so you could think, if you just listen to that one video, like, oh, this person owned them and they told them and everything they said was true. No, it's not. You didn't get to hear the rebuttal. So anyway, yeah, I just think it's gonna be interesting. Man, it just makes me remember how I had an issue with even being considered a gamer just because I like video games. And it's sad that now we're in a season where if you even prefer Sony PlayStation over Xbox or vice versa, you're automatically labeled a fanboy. And I think it's about how you communicate it, how you communicate and talk about what you like. Every time you talk about what you like, do you have to bash the other? Or can you just talk about what you like, talk about maybe what you like about the other side, and maybe what you don't like? But, you just have to be at a... maybe just at a mature level to be able to just talk about things intellectually and fairly. Because again, there are plus and minuses with everything. There are things about Sony PlayStation I don't like. I mean, I don't like the fact that we're not able to use the old controllers on the new system. I don't like that. But then, got more information. You can play the old games with the old controllers, the new games with the new controllers. That kind of makes sense, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not. Why? Especially when the newer games have features that utilize the new controllers. Makes sense. So anyway, I'm not mad at that. And again, video gaming is an expensive hobby. It is what it is. And the fact that people want to, Xbox fanboys want to talk about, oh, you're going to be paying $60, $70 for a new game. I know you were probably born in the early 2000s, so you don't understand. Nintendo 64, their games when they first came out were like $70. 60, 70, and even $80 in Toys R Us. I will never forget that crap. I will never forget it. $84.99, $74.99 for cartridge games. Nintendo 64. Ridiculous. That was disgusting. You know, an example of Nintendo being like all this negative stuff. Companies are companies, and they will do what you allow them to do. Because if we buy it, then they're going to keep giving it to you. If you stand up and don't buy it, they will change their tune. If you speak up collectively, they will change their tune. That's why it makes no sense to have Sony and Xbox and Nintendo fans against each other. I'll just throw Nintendo in there. But if we came together, we would have a better experience as gamers in the community as a whole, even PC gamers. Everybody would have a better experience. But going at each other, supporting and defending companies that don't really care about you, we the ones looking stupid when we do that. Real talk. So, you know, hopefully hopefully things will change, but most likely they won't. But they probably will be entertaining. And I'll say this. Looking at that new game on the PS5 that comes with the game, Orbeez, what I don't even know the name of it. But looking at the gameplay that they're releasing now, that people have those retail consoles in their hand, looks fun. Matter of fact, and they stole from Mario, where he's going down the slide and collecting the coins. That's straight out of the Mario Nintendo 64. So even seeing that and seeing the water and everything, that reminded me of Mario 64. Because when Mario 64 came out, there was nothing like it. There was nothing like it. And it was a huge move. And you could just go in the store. And when you saw that, you were like, oh my gosh. And when I went into the store and I saw it, even when I had the console at home, I still felt good going in the store and seeing like, yeah, that's what I get to play when I'm at home. Because it was that big of a difference from what was out there. And it really did. That was a huge jump from what we had been experiencing in video games at the time. And what I saw in that game on the PS5 is just reminded me of the fun that we're going to have or could possibly have with the new console, with the new images and whatnot. I got a nice new TV for it or whatever, and I was due for an upgrade. My old TV is like 13 years old. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that. Because again, it's about having fun with the games. And I think, you know, for me personally, you know, Microsoft gives you a lot of R-rated first-person shooter, dark experiences that can be enjoyable. But I'm somebody who loves Pixar movies, loves Disney movies, loves Disney Plus, loves Marvel and, you know, action-packed stuff. So like the cinematic storylines in the Sony PlayStation exclusives, the cinematic presentation, and then even the bright colors and things of that nature, I know I'll have more options when it comes to the PS5 platform. Not that Xbox won't have any, but it's not their cup of tea. So, you know, I had given some thought to like maybe, you know, if I was like, you know, really balling, maybe I get both consoles or whatever. But as a consumer, I'm not for the Game Pass. I'm not for a company wanting to put me in another system where they're getting money from me every month, whether they produce something good or not. Getting money every month just to have access to games in some cases that you may have already bought. Because if you're an Xbox player or gamer, you might already have those games. But again, to each their own. You know, if that's good for you, if that works for you, good. But for me, I know that there could be months that go by that I don't need to get a new game. It's not like there's going to be a ton of new games coming out every year that I just have to have. And if it is, then hey, if I'm in a position to handle it and take care of it, I ain't going to be mad if the experience is worth it. If the experience is worth it, I'm cool with it. Because one thing's for sure, even though they bought more studios, you honestly think that Microsoft from their home studio is going to be putting out more than 12, even 12 games in a year that are going to be worth. Nah. Nah. But anyway, neither here nor there. Y'all enjoy it. That was pretty much all I wanted to hit up on was the Xbox Series S and the low frame rates and the low resolution, and then, you know, the PS5, whatever that game is on there. I don't even know the name of it, but how good it looks fun. You know, and then just people's toxicity in regard to making you just not even want to be labeled a gamer. You know, I like video games, but yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because it's like you enjoy playing basketball. Say you enjoy playing a sport, but somebody want to say, well, you're not a professional. You don't play D1 league or A1 league, or you're not in you know, you're not on that level. So I just enjoy playing the game. Can I just go out and play the game and have fun? You know, I don't have to be the professional. I don't have to be better than, you know, Kobe or LeBron or whatever. That. Let me just enjoy having fun playing the game, because it's a game. It's a game. I ain't got to be no professional gamer. And most of these so-called hardcore gamers, like, what is a hardcore gamer? Are you getting paid? Or are you getting paid to play? You know, if you're getting paid to play, okay, then you real with yours. But if you ain't getting paid, what you talking about? You wasting time like everybody else. So, but anyway, it is what it is. I will look forward to having the system so this toxicity can kind of dissipate a little bit, because it won't be no more talk. Because if you about whatever system you about and you like that, hopefully you'll be spending your time enjoying that system. And for the people who, you know, are choosing a system where they'll have new games that they will enjoy playing and won't be playing just only the older games, it'll be cool. And I'm gonna say this last thing. I don't get the cross-gen stuff. I don't understand how, and I even heard this from somebody. It cracks me up. They want to diss Sony for saying, y'all ain't got no next-gen games. What, Demon Souls? Y'all have no next-gen games. Your games are going to be cross-gen. Okay, so you're saying that's a negative, but yet, at the same time, you don't literally have any games on the Xbox that are even cross-gen. You just got old gen. Like, out of your own studio. Like, okay, third party, okay, sure, everybody's got that. But anyway, I think I missed my point on that, because I think I had a better point on that. But honestly, the fact that, yes, they were saying that you're going to have these cross-gen games where it's on PS4 and PS5, and you saying that that's a negative, yet at the same time, you were saying as a positive for Xbox that their older games will play better on the Xbox Series X. Well, won't those cross-gen games play better on the PS5? Duh, same argument. Same argument. So, Miles Morales and every other, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn, whatever, all those games will perform immensely better with zero loading times on the PS5 as opposed to the PS4. The PS4 and the fact that it's cross-gen will not hold it back any more. Excuse me. Any more than your Xbox Series S will hold back your games, even though we're coming to find out that it does. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I know I'm going to be enjoying it. I know I'm going to be enjoying Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn and every other game that I'm going to enjoy and love and play. And once you have the experience of it, the talk won't even matter no more. Your opinions won't even matter. You know, people can always have their opinion about your life and about your experience. But once you have that experience and you're living your life, you know that whatever they say don't mean anything because you're the one experiencing it. You're the one enjoying it. And you know that their opinion about it doesn't change the facts of your life and your experience. So when we get these consoles in hand, all this stupid talk gonna be down. Because you're not gonna be able to diminish people's personal experience and the enjoyment they're gonna have playing these games. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm out. I got stuff to do.